Thank you. So yesterday at the border, the president once again called for legislative action at the border. A month ago, he repeated that, but he also said that he was willing to take action himself. Is the administration, could we expect to see him take action by himself, whether that be executive actions or an executive order?
I mean, I kind of just answered this a moment ago. Look, we always evaluate options. We're going to evaluate options. That is something that we're going to do here, as we've done with any big issue that has come in front of the president. We evaluate all options. We have not made any decisions yet. That is kind of where we are, and about any additional actions, to your point, executive actions. But ultimately, what we believe, the bottom line is, no executive action, no matter how aggressive it is going to do what came out of the Senate in a bipartisan way, that the president worked with those members for a couple of months.
What are the factors that the White House is weighing here?
Yeah.
Well, I understand if there's a preference for legislative action. The Homeland Security Secretary was saying that's less likely to run into legal trouble. But I guess if it's the preference for legislative action, what tells the White House that there's any chance that this bipartisan bill actually has a chance of passing at this point?
I mean, look, we've been here before, right? We've been here, and what I mean by that is there have been some bipartisan bills that have come out of this under this presidency, right, in the past 3 years, where people thought it was dead and it wasn't going anywhere, and it moved forward, right? And so the president has to be optimistic. He has to lay down what's at stake. He has to call out Republicans and say to them, hey, you want to fix this. This is a bipartisan bill that actually lays out ways to fix the challenges at the border in this immigration system. And he's going to continue to do that. But the reality is, and you said it yourself, the secretary said that, this is the way, legislation is the best way to go so that we don't have to deal with the courts, right? Making this into law, a piece of legislation that would be tough, that would be fair, that would do this in a way that moves it forward in dealing with the challenges at the border. And so, look, we're always going to evaluate options. We are. But the reality is, the way to actually deal with the challenges at the border, to actually move forward with what we're seeing with this immigration, this broken immigration system that we've been seeing for the past couple of decades, is to move forward with this bipartisan legislation.
You don't think we get an announcement of anything before State of the Union?
What I'm saying to you is no decision has been made. We are continuing to be very loud and clear. The president, I thought, was very clear about that, very strong about that. He went to Brownsville, not with other elected officials who were on the other side of the aisle, if you will, and he saw for himself what was going on the ground, and he saw that more resources needed to be provided, and he spoke to the American people about this. So, I think that this is something that Republicans really need to understand. There is a deal. There's a bipartisan deal. They can't listen. And they admitted this, right? They're listening to the former president. They're listening to Donald Trump, who is trying to do things for himself. It's politics for himself, not about the American people. And what you saw from this president yesterday is how he's putting the American people first. And that's what you're going to see at the State of the Union as well next Thursday. Go ahead.
Thanks.